Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network.
The entire Confederacy. Really well done, guys. They never count you out again, I promise. Look, this is how it's been at nighttime on Progress as well. People are realizing that we're a country of men who are too weak for a woman president.
Yeah.
He can be a rapist and a racist and a white supremacist who stole from veterans with a fraudulent online university, lies about innocent migrants. He can violate all 10 commandments, but at least he's not a woman. And that's where we are this week.
Yeah.
And I'm not giving up because I am in love with the more than half of America that resists this and will continue to resist this.
Yeah.
This doesn't remind me of 2016. This reminds me of 2004, Steffi. You remember 2004?
Yeah.
George W. Bush, this aristocrat, brat, illiterate, millionaire at birth, who lied to all of us. And Americans died because of his lies. And crappy white people decided, I don't care that he lied, I'll reelect him.
Yeah.
And he left office the most unpopular president in history until Bush. And there's no words for how horrible this is going to end for Donald Trump. There's no way this doesn't end like the last scene of Scarface for both him and the eyeliner model. That's how it goes. And if you're down, I have many thoughts today, but I'll just say one thing. If you guys are down and you think you're never going to smile again, just remember all the Ozempic he's been taking has led to so much weight loss and saggy skin that he can no longer wear a collared shirt with a tie without having a neck vagina. And I want that neck vagina to get you through the darkest of nights, folks, because you deserve to laugh at the darkest times.
It's a mangina. It is. So one of my favorite lines of yours that you tweeted is, America's an old couch and Trump is the black light.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the depressing part for a lot of us, John. It's not, because this election isn't about who he is. It's about who we are.
Amen. And we've always been this dirty. We've always found racism acceptable. We've always found treating women like crap acceptable. Show me all the things that the media demanded Kamala Harris do that they required of Donald Trump.
Thank you.
You know.
Well, and you also said Trump's not the Antichrist, but Christ is the anti-Trump. I mean, this thing that you talk about so eloquently all the time, how the least Christ-like man in the world has become their Messiah. I mean, evangelical leaders celebrate Trump's victory as a prophecy fulfilled. I mean...
Yeah. It's the triumph of Christianity over Christ, okay? Donald Trump is the Christianity what Jesus was to lying, racism, narcissism, disregard for the poor, supporting torture, making the rich richer, hating your enemies, defending white supremacists, taking health care away from poor people, stealing from people with fraud, celebrating greed and wealth, never asking forgiveness, lusting after your own daughter, evicting people from eminent domain law, G'ing women by the P? No, boo-boo. You can enjoy your victory all you want, but anyone who's actually read the New Testament is going to call out these corrosive, flock-fleecing Pharisee frauds. You don't get to call yourself Christian anymore. Those of us who read the Bible are going to call you out.
Yeah.
So do I.
John, okay, can you take your organ out for me? Thank you, Chris. Yep. I just... Even reading this made my head explode. After having repeatedly depicted the presidential election as a spiritual clash between good and evil... We'd be the evil in this part, and Trump in this scenario is the good.
Yeah,
leading figures in the movement to remake America as an explicitly Christian nation celebrated Trump's victory as a fulfillment of God's divine will. Lance, somebody who cares, a celebrity evangelist, said there's a different dialogue about spirituality happening in America. And with Donald Trump, God has given us permission to take it right to the White House. While evangelical support for Trump has not wavered since he pledged in early 2016 while running for GOP nomination, if you were elected, Christianity will have power. If I'm there, you're going to have plenty of power. You don't need anybody else, Trump said.
That's their religion, is power. Yep. That's all they care about. They reject the gospel. They don't give a rat's ass about the things Jesus actually talked about. They want power. I'm writing a whole book about this. And you ask, and the real failing here, Steffi, is the media. Because the media allows these frauds to pass themselves off as what Christianity is. The media will never ask any of these evangelicals, name one teaching of Jesus the MAGA movement fights for. Chapter and verse, please. One thing Christ actually commanded, like welcome the stranger, which he commands in Matthew 25, you immigrant-hating frauds, or stop executing people. Put away thy sword. He who lives by the sword will die by the sword, you NRA whores. How about individuals and nations must care for the sick and care for the poor? They don't like Jesus. They would call him woke.
John's in a mood. John's in a mood this morning, and I am here for it.
You don't need to believe in the Bible to call out these hypocrites. And again, damn it, media, start asking these people, where does your New Testament say that Donald Trump is doing the right thing? Because I've been through mine many times. No. These people have to be called out for their fraudulence.
Let's look at data for a second. 80% of white evangelicals back Trump. He also won an estimated 67% of Latino evangelicals and 14% of black evangelicals. I mean, this whole...
So you're saying 86% of black evangelicals are against Donald Trump? Don't tell the media that. Don't tell the media that. Yeah.
Well, John, we've been talking about, the data analyst yesterday was saying that the major predictor in every election ever, I guess, is the president's approval rating. And Biden is at 40%. And I do think the media had a lot to do with that. Both sides did it to, so that was part of the perception that the economy was bad when every indicator was so much better. But
best economy in the world. Best economy in the world. Best recovery from COVID-19 worldwide inflation. We're doing better than all of our capitalist allies. But tens of millions of Americans believed that the country was heading in the wrong direction and the economy was doing poorly and that crime was going up. And none of that is true. And the media made sure no one was disabused of the notion.
Yeah. And we were talking about their infrastructure. This is Winnie said, SM, the last 4 years I was in rural North Carolina for a month 4 times a year. I believe the number one reason Trump won is Fox News. It's on TVs every place you go.
Everywhere.
Family and friends have it playing all day on TV. Over meals, it's Did You Hear What Hannity Said? And then you add in all the right-wing radio stations and podcasts. And, John, I guess what I keep saying bothers me the most, if we had lost on actual issues, but we lost on lies. On fear-mongering and scapegoating, and if you can't afford stuff, it's because of the brown people, and it's because they're giving all your FEMA money to illegals, and they're giving and they're spending
lies.
It on transgender surgeries.
Racist lies that are acceptable to evangelicals, like the racist lie that the first black president wasn't really one of us, like the racist lie that innocent Haitian migrants are illegals who are eating pets. These lies are acceptable, like the sexual abuse is acceptable, like stealing from American citizens via fraud is acceptable. And this was all made possible because 2 generations of American Christians have been groomed to believe that Christianity means criminalizing abortion and persecuting LGBTQ people. And the actual teachings of Jesus, which don't cover being mean to gay people or abortion, are thrown out. Again, this is how they used religion, and the aristocrat class always does this. And I want to remind everybody, nothing's really changed. The only consistent political narrative of my lifetime, right, since I was a kid, last 50 years, is Republicans get greedy and messy, and they're going to burn it all down. This country's like a mob restaurant. They burn down for the insurance money, and then we know they're going to bring a Democrat in to clean up their mess. Watergate and Nixon gave us the most moral president of our lifetime, Jimmy Carter, who's looking better and better every year, by the way. More jobs created per year than Reagan and Bush combined. And then 12 years of trickle-down gave us Bill Clinton, who balanced the budget and left us a surplus. 8 years of Bush Jr., the aristocrat warmongering puppet, gave us Barack Obama, who reduced the deficit and brought the lowest number of uninsured in history. And then 4 years of Caligula gave us Joe Biden, the most legislatively successful president of my lifetime, who saved the Teamsters' pensions, walked a picket line, revived American manufacturing, passed historic infrastructure bill, loaded it up with so much Buy America crap and the Inflation Reduction Act. And you know what's going to happen next? In 4 years, they're going to bring in a Democrat to clean up the mess these aristocrats are going to make.
And I think that's
the most progressive field we've ever seen.
Yeah, and I think that's the starting point, is why, and again, you just discussed it about the media, about we could not get our arms around why would Biden's approval rating only be 40% when he has provably done all this stuff. But you're right, we have so many factors now, including media, mainstream media, that is far from liberal, that I think overcorrects the other way. But we were saying that's why a lot of these discussions are useless now. Like, I don't think Biden would have done any better. I think it would have been the ageism that the media had,
Of
if
course.
it wasn't the racism and misogyny that Kamala Harris also obviously faced. It's
Absolutely.
It's that when we keep, the media really like reflected Trump saying this is a garbage country and a hellscape and all this stuff, and you see how Trump's acceptance or whatever speech that was before he even won, but he's like, America's the greatest country in the world. I mean, really? Yesterday it was a garbage pail, but now it's great because they voted for you. I mean, it is a full-on cult, John. I don't know what to say.
Yeah,
I keep saying to Chris, if we had lost on real issues and not lies, you know what I mean? Like it would.
Look,
I think
we
that's
lost because we lost because 15 million fewer people showed up to vote, and during a pandemic, everybody was glued to the TV all day long. Everybody got their mail ballots. Turnout was incredibly high. We know historically when there's low turnout, Republicans win. When there's high turnout, Democrats win. That's what got us this time. It's not going to make the next 4 years go well. These policies, the tariff war, it's not going to go well. Prices are not going to get lower. Women are not going to stop dying in hospital parking lots.
We're not conspiracy theorists on the show. I do understand why some of that is out there, though, because the registration numbers were way high. The enthusiasm numbers were 10 points higher for Kamala Harris. So I understand people going, where did those millions of votes go? That's why I think we were all in such shock and numbness. Right.
Absolutely. But hey, you know what? At least Merrick Garland took down Hunter Biden. That's all I'm thankful for. He'll tell, St. Peter, what did you do, Merrick Garland? I took down Hunter Biden for my country. Well, okay, Merrick Garland, you might be on the wrong floor. Look, there's going to be so much finger pointing among the left, and everyone's going to tear each other to ribbons for the next few months, and it's going to be dreary, and our friends are going to be screaming at our friends, and you're allowed to be wounded. You're allowed to be hurt. You are not allowed, Stephanie Miller audience, to despair, because despondency is privilege. There is too much at stake for y'all to check out. So take a few months, lick your wounds, come to terms with how awful so many white people are in this country. But I promise you, by Valentine's Day, Donald Trump's criminality and stupidity and incompetence are going to bring everybody back on the same side because there are more of us.
Yep. We love you, John Fugelsang. Need you more than ever now, honey. And we will.
I love you. And listen, we're doing a therapy session on Progress every night as well.
Yep.
Look, Gotham got tired of woke Batman and figured Joker setting the city on fire might shake things up. These are stupid people. America might never be the same again, but we're gonna get through it.
Thank you, sir.
Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. I hope you'll join me on my new audio podcast, Justice Matters. I'll be using my 30 years as a federal prosecutor and Army JAG to unpack, break down, and explain the legal issues of the day, particularly where the legal intersects with the political. Please look for Justice Matters with Glenn Kirshner wherever you generally get your podcasts.